Hi everybody, hello. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Yasmin Boland. This show is Weekly Astrology with Yasmin. I'm an astrologer, I'm a moonologer, and I'm a Hay House author of various books, including Moonology, a guide to working with the magic of the lunar cycles. And this week I'm coming to you not from London, where I'm usually broadcasting from, but from Paris, France. If you want to tune in, you can catch the show on Facebook. I'm doing a Facebook Live at the same time. Yasmin Boland is my name. You can find me facebook.com/Yasmin Boland, and you can see me in my mother-in-law's living room, which is not as tidy as it should be. Sorry, Cornelia, if you're watching. Please note, if you have a question about your own personal horoscope, I will be taking calls in the second half of this show. So let's get straight into the weekly astrology. And I just wanted to give you a rundown, first of all, of what we're going to do this week. First of all, as we do every week, we'll be taking a look at the astrology of the week ahead. And I know a lot of you love this because you've written to me to tell me, and I appreciate your emails very much. Thank you very much. I've been getting lots of really positive feedback about the show. So thank you. So we'll be doing that. We're actually going to take a special look at the planet of romance and riches, Venus. Venus is the planet of love and abundance, okay? So we'll be looking at what she's up to and what that means for those of us down here on planet Earth. We will be doing a special Mercury-Neptune meditation because we have a Mercury-Neptune link coming up, and I'll explain why it's so important to meditate this week. Plus, we will do a little bit of moonology and look at what the current moon phase is, and which is actually, we're in a crescent moon today, what that's all about and how to use it. And as I said, on top of that, I will be taking your calls. So the first thing to note about this week is that the planet of sex and drive and determination, Mars, is moving into the partnership-oriented sign of Libra. Now, if you are a Libran, you will know partnerships are all important to Librans. Wherever you have Libra in your chart is where you're very good at being a partner. And Mars moving in there is very interesting because Mars and Libra actually go together in a kind of a funny way because Mars is Mars, and Libra is associated with the planet Venus. And we all know that Venus and Mars go together like, I don't know what, like a horse and carriage, like bubble and squeak, like, well, let me see, hot chocolate and a croissant. Okay, so Mars only moves into the sign of Libra about every 2 years, and the move of Mars into Libra marks the start of a cycle where relationships are going to come to the fore. So I don't know about you, my husband and I have been having lots of very interesting moments lately. I've talked about them before. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love him, he loves me, but lately we've been bickering a bit, and I think it's Mars moving into Libra because basically Mars likes a good argument and Libra is about relationships. So there are going to be little upsets in your most important relationships. However, be aware, and I am aware, that this is not happening because the universe wants to annoy me. It's not happening because the universe wants couples to start arguing. In fact, Mars is the planet that likes to argue, but it's also a truth that sometimes when we argue, we end up clearing the air. Okay, so basically Mars is giving us a chance to clear the air with anyone that really matters to us over the coming few weeks. While Mars is the feisty planet who is rarely ever, let's say, backwards and coming forwards, Libra is the relationship sign of the zodiac. As I said, it's all about partners, personal and professional couples, and really relating. So use this week to think about who you need to sort out an issue with, what you need to sort out. I mean, basically, if you're having troubles in one of your important relationships, on the one hand, Mars in Libra could mean there are going to be more arguments. I'm not going to pretend that that's not the case. It is the case. However, it can be the case that you sort these things out and you actually move to a new place. You know, it can be you're bickering because, you know, you're both tired. You're not going to bed early enough. You're getting up too early. One of you's feeling resentful. Someone's working too hard. Anything like that can affect a relationship. So now as Mars goes through the sign of Libra, issues like that can be thrashed out with the whole aim of moving to something like harmony. Libra is the relationship sign, but it's also very much about harmony and negotiation. So as Libra is titivated by Mars, it's actually a really good time to start to think, okay, what is going to bring harmony to this relationship? The one thing you do need to be a little bit careful of is the fact that Mars is also the brash planet of the zodiac. It's a very brash energy. It's like I think in astrology we tend to talk about, you know, the young brash youth. Imagine a young brash 18-year-old boy or, you know, young man who's demanding what he wants and in a not very elegant way. That's very much the Mars energy. So you do need to be careful if you're having an upset with anyone in your life who qualifies as a partner. So that could be someone who's your partner, your life partner. Can be your ex. Issues with exes are very likely to come up now. But also, and kind of a bit more precariously, it can be a business partner. And we all know that business partners need to be nurtured, and, you know, we have to kind of be a little bit careful with business partners. So just be careful if you're having upsets. And anytime things come up for you with someone who's an important person in your life this week, rather than being brash and storming in there like Mars likes to do, see if you can instead embrace the Libran energy. Libra being elegant and harmonious and diplomatic. Okay, so that's kind of the start of the Mars in Libra cycle, and it's going to continue for quite a few weeks yet. Let me just quickly look where Mars is at this very second in time. Yeah, Mars is actually at 1 degree of Libra, and there's 30 degrees. So Mars will be in Libra for a little while. But also the other thing is that Venus, the planet of love, is also in Libra. And that sounds like a good thing because you've got Venus, the planet of love, in Libra, the sign of relationships. And it is overall a good thing. However, this week, as I will talk about in a minute, Venus is actually kind of up against it because she's going to be making a big clash with the planet Pluto. And when that happens, relationships again can be a bit tricky. I hope my husband's listening so he knows what to expect. Hello, darling. Also note that we are in the waxing cycle of the moon. So it's the perfect time to be very proactive about chasing whatever it is in you that you want. The waxing cycle of the moon is the period of time that runs from the new moon to the full moon. We had the new moon just a few days ago, I think on the 19th, so 5 days ago. We're 5 days into the waxing cycle, and if, like me, you like to create your own reality, if you believe in the law of attraction, if you know, and that's really important, if you already know deep down that you are creating your own reality, that you are scripting your own life with your actions and your thoughts and your feelings, then this is the time to really tap into what you want. I always think of the crescent moon cycle as a time when so we've had the new moon, we've planted the seeds. Now just say if the whole moon cycle was a journey. It's like the new moon was the starting line where everyone raced out from the start, okay, where they put their foot down and they took off, okay? So that's the new moon bit, and that's where we made our wishes last week. This week, it's the crescent moon cycle, and it's kind of like the cruising moon cycle. It's where you still need to be going full pelt, helter-skelter towards whatever it is you want, and not really letting up. There shouldn't be any, I mean, if we continue the motoring analogy, I'm thinking of some kind of Grand Prix. You know, we're on the stretch. There's no chicanes, there's no corners, there's no obstacles. It's literally put your foot down and keep going. If you made some new moon wishes last week and you've already forgotten them, this is a really good time to go back, grab your list and have another look and see what you wished for, and if you are on target for actually doing whatever it is you need to do to achieve your goals. I actually read a really cool little quote from someone called Danielle Laporte. I think her name is Danielle Laporte. I have a feeling she's very well known, and I'm kind of one of the last people to discover her. But she wrote something in one of her articles, which was, what are you willing to do in order to feel the way you want to feel? And that really struck a chord with me. If you've ever met me or you've heard me talking, I'm always, I know it sounds awful and it's politically incorrect, but I'm always trying to lose a bit of weight. I have a beautiful French husband who's an amazing chef, and since we've been married, I couldn't even begin to tell you how much weight I've gained. And, you know, for me, that what are you willing to do in order to feel good really strikes a chord, because, you know, it's like, well, I'm willing not to eat that second helping of food, or I'm willing to go on that walk. I'm willing to go on that walk in order to feel the way I want to feel, which is slimmer, more lithe. You know, think about what you want to do, and this is the time to be really putting all that into practice. Of course, you know, we're only human, and you can only do what you can do, but this is the period of the moon cycle where the energies are really supporting us in chasing our dreams. And if you didn't make your new moon wishes last week, you can do them now. I mean, it is better to do them at the new moon by far, because there's actually a kind of an energetic support. But any time, especially in the waxing cycle, is a really good time to make your wishes, to set your intentions, even if you just list the top 3 intentions. And then, you know, as you cruise through the week, keep your eye on what you're doing in order to make your dreams come true. Are you doing what you need to do in order to feel the way you want to feel, to quote Danielle Laporte sort of thing. The other thing to mention is there's actually a really nice once-a-year link between the Sun and Jupiter this week. The Sun being the self, being the ego, and Jupiter being the planet of good luck and confidence. So that's actually really helpful as well, because it's going to boost people's confidence, make us feel more like we're able to achieve our goals, and that's all, you know, that's exactly what we need basically. So overall, it's a pretty good week for whatever you want to do. I just should say there is one clash, okay, and I've mentioned it already. It's Venus and Pluto. So Venus will be squaring Pluto on Friday, I think it is. Now, I really don't want to give you a negative self-fulfilling prophecy. So let me say there are 2 ways, or many ways, but 2 main ways for this sort of thing to play out. As I said on the program notes this week, I really wanted to talk about how we can use astrology to live intentionally. So to create our own reality, using the stars literally as a guide, the way sailors used to use the stars as a guide, and probably some still do. Back in the Dark Ages, astrologers were famous for making very dire predictions, you know, about pestilence and famine and decapitations and all sorts of things. Nowadays, though, it's really not considered politically correct to scare your clients, to scare people. So we tend to instead try and look for the best in any astrological event. So looking at Venus, okay, so Venus is in Libra and she's clashing with Pluto. Now, of course, that can be difficult because Venus is about love, Pluto is about obsession. Venus is about money, Pluto can be about death. This link could be about romantic deception, it could be about upsets in love, it could be about power struggles within a relationship, it could even be about some kind of abuse or upsets about finances, okay? Now, that's kind of like giving you the negative. But the positive, if you want to live intentionally, this is what you need to keep in mind. Think of whatever issue comes up for you this week to do with a relationship or to do with money as a problem that can be solved. Now, the reason why I say that is because Venus is squaring Pluto, and when there's a square, basically